tasters are those people who check the food items before it is out in the market by tasting it and examining its components and determining if the food is acceptable to consumer tastes. They have the complete knowledge about the food they are specializing in. The final conclusions that the food tasters make impacts the market, the demand, tastes and preferences, the economy or financial status of that particular food industry. That is why the existence is very lucrative and an emerging career option. Food tasters are essential in all big brands, especially gourmet food industry. So basically there are specialized food tasters like wine tasters who determine the authenticity, taste, grade, type and flavor of wine that is finally sold by analyzing the ratio of chemical components, texture and the types of ingredients used. A cheese taster decides upon the quantity, quality and type of milk to be used for a certain kind of cheese on certain criteria such as its shape, texture and firmness. Similarly, there are ice cream tasters, coffee tasters, chocolate tasters, etc. Sometimes the work requires that you show up on site and be a part of a focus group or a consumer panel. In many cases, however, you might complete your work online as part of a consumer survey or online forum. Thus, even if you can't always be physically present at a test facility, you can still make money from home as a food taster. There are many companies that perform food tasting and research for big clients like Tyson, Nestle, PepsiCo, Kraft Foods, etc. These companies often hire food tasters for consumer panels and studies that take place throughout the year. It is interesting to see that there are also professional pet tasters. So what exactly does the job entail? Well, as the name suggests, it pretty much involves tasting dog food to make sure it meets a premium brand's exacting quality standards. Tasters regularly open sample tins of each freshly made batch of dog and then proceed to smell it and eat it. Professional tasters are trained to identify flavors that dogs tend to enjoy or reject. Although dogs' palates are different to ours, taste is an important quality to check to ensure each different ingredient is perfectly balanced in just the right way. A professional food taster for dogs can draw up to $30,000 a year. The minimum education required to become a food taster is a high school diploma or an acceptable equivalent. Most companies will also require that the applicant is at least 18 years of age, though it is not unusual for the hiring department to prefer applicants with more experience. Many food companies and manufacturers are beginning to seek out food tasters with experience to more effectively compete in a growing market. There are more skills required to become a food taster than just tasting foods. Serious applicants should be aware that the job they will perform is vitally important to the production and marketing of a company's product. Not only the tastes required to taste a wide variety of foods are also responsible for making detailed notes regarding such factors as the flavor, appearance and texture of the samples. In some cases, food tasters are asked to taste many different versions of the same food and be able to distinguish minute differences in the samples. Tasters should also have an excellent written and verbal communication skills and possess a sophisticated palate. Jobs for food tasters. Professional food tasters. A professional food taster can help develop products for grocery stores. Before a new food product makes its way to supermarket shelves, its recipe is adjusted multiple times to give it a great taste and texture. To help companies in this complex process, professional food tasters who have highly developed palates eat samples and make suggestions to help create an ideal product. Professional tasters might suggest the amount of an ingredient to be increased or decreased, or that something to be done to change the texture of the food, making it feel more pleasant in the mouth. Recipe developer. A recipe developer tinkers with ingredients to get things just right. The job of a recipe developer requires patience and an eye for detail as he or she creates and alters recipes for cash book publishers, restaurants, food manufacturers, and other clients. Recipe developers come up with new creations and also experiment with recipes to make food tastier, healthier, or in the same way different to meet their clients' needs. For instance, a recipe developer at a weight loss company might change a pasta dish recipe to make it lower in fat, substituting lean ingredients for unhealthy ones to reduce calorie count. Restaurant critic. Restaurant critic gets rant and rave about places to dine. Someone with a passion for writing and eating can combine the two by becoming a restaurant critic for a magazine, newspaper, or website. Restaurant critics often work anonymously to ensure they receive equal service with other diners tasting dishes and then evaluating them for quality, presentation, price, and other factors like service. Critics must be well informed about various cuisines so that when they write with authority about everything from pastries to curry, determining what is authentically delicious and what is worth avoiding. Chef. Chefs can put their passion for food into every dish. It helps to have a passion for what you do, and foodies put their love of food to good work as chefs, cooking and tasting to create delicious dishes. There are various positions for kitchen professionals, but those truly serious about the art of fine food should pursue education and professional experience in quality restaurants. Though it may mean starting at the bottom, even small tasks will be a big learning. Those not ready to make a full-time commitment to a career could try something as simple as preparing their own baked goods for sale at a local market or taking on some small-time catering jobs after gaining experience. Income of food taster. Food tasting groups often pay $60 to $70 per hour for participants who complete the study. Companies that offer online surveys pay between $1 to $15 per question depending on survey. A pet food taster can earn as much as $50 to $1,000. She is Kat Shannon. She started her career as a master chocolate taster, product developer, and laboratory scientist for Kraft Foods, which now manufactures Cadbury's chocolate. Just 3 years after starting her first job in an analytical lab, Shannon is leading her own R&D project developing new products. Her role typically pays between €24,000 and €30,000. She spends most of her time tasting chocolate. Everyone has a dream job in mind, but rarely do any of us get a chance to live out the fantasy. Master ice cream taster John Harrison is an exception though. On an average day, Harrison samples about 60 packages of ice cream for Eddie's Grand Ice Cream. The company finds his services so valuable that they have insured his taste buds for a cool $1 million. That is $100 per taste bud.